Hello, so this is day 42 now with our Pavlik harness, and officially 1 week since our last appointment. So Max has been able to have 1 hour out of the harness now for a week, even though we haven't actually taken him out every day, just where he was poorly. What I thought I'd just do today is just show you me taking him out. Like, it's, what time is it now? It's just coming up to 5:30 now, and this is the time we usually take him out because it means we can get him out, he can have a bit of a kick around, and then he can have a bath, and then he goes back in sort of straight before bedtime. So sort of this sort of time works perfectly for us, really. So yeah, I mentioned in one of my previous videos about how long Max was, and maybe you'll agree that out of the harness he looks super long, because obviously, like me, you're sort of just used to seeing him sort of in his froggy position. So yeah, I'll just take it off, and then we'll just go from there, really. Not much else has really been happening over the last few days. Max is still sort of just getting over his bronchiolitis. But that's about it. So to take it off, I just take off the shoulder straps. I actually Velcro them back up as I take them off. Otherwise, I find everything starts to get stuck to other areas, and it just becomes a little bit fiddly. So I just take the shoulder straps off, undo the chest strap. Obviously, I've already put a vest on Max this morning, so I don't sort of need to sort of redress him or anything. And I still put the vest, on in the same way as I used to previously. I don't take the whole harness off to take the vests on and off still. I try to ensure he stays in his froggy position as much as possible. So I just loosen up the shoulder straps and slip it under. But now I'll just sort of undo the feet and then just Velcro the leg straps back up so it doesn't end up all twisted. And then I just sort of shimmy him out. And then it takes a little while for him to acclimatise. You can see, like, a couple of seconds he's stayed in the froggy position, and now he's very slowly starting to stretch out. At this point, I generally give his legs a little bit of a massage just to get all the circulation going in there. And then I sort of just try to encourage him to kick them about a little bit. We usually stay on this mat for a little bit, and then I put him in the play gym. We do a little bit of tummy time. It just depends what mood he's in, really. Sometimes at this time of day he becomes a little bit ratty, so we might put some sensory stuff on the TV and just pop him in the bouncer. He seems quite happy today, just sort of having a kick about. I'm trying to get him into sort of like reaching for things and looking at things. He loves these sort of flashy balls. A lot of babies by now are possibly starting to try to roll, or even start to try to sit up. Obviously we haven't even been able to practice any sitting up, really, because of the harness. So I'm sort of not worrying too much about that. I'm just trying to make sure that he's trying to sort of turn, sort of following all the objects around, because you've got to remember he's used to wearing the brace, which is quite bulky, which does limit his movement slightly. What I'll do, I'll just sort of try and sit him up a little bit, so we just try and get him used to the seated position. As you can see, he does hold his legs still in quite a funny position, like one seems to be a little bit more bent out than the other one. I'm actually going to mention that, to the physio when we go next week, as I have noticed just the way he holds his legs does vary slightly. They did mention last time that one hip is quite a little bit tighter still than the other one, so that probably is just because of that. We try and do a little bit of standing just to get him used to feeling sort of things beneath his feet starting to bear weight. I won't be using a jumper or anything like that with him, I don't think. We did use one with Freddie, and in hindsight it probably made his hypermobility worse. However, you know, at 4.5, 5 months when we put him in it, we didn't really know anything about it. But I do know that they aren't particularly hip healthy, regardless of having hip issues. So yeah, I just let him sort of feel around the floor, bounce him up and down. He seems to quite enjoy it. Again, it's a sensory experience for him. So we pop him back down again. Sort of just let him sort of feel around. So I'm playing with some toys. And that's about it really. So we do this for about 30-40 minutes and then we go up and have a bath. We sort of, again, I haven't actually done any baby massage stuff properly that I've looked at online, but I do try and sort of just like rub his legs and like do a little bit of stretching. I do take this opportunity to do some bicycle movements with him just to help any wind or anything that he's got move around. But yeah, so that's generally what we do in our hour off. And we are actually going to Centre Parks the week after next, so we're going to use his hour off to go swimming, or some of that time to go swimming, which will be really fun for him, and I think it'll be really fun for us as well. So we'll just sort of do swimming and like a shower down as his hour off, sort of every day. Yeah, so that's basically what we do every day. But no, not much else exciting happening at the moment. Just sort of everyday stuff. But yeah, so that's us coming out of the harness for our hour off. As always, if anything else pops up, I will check back on here. But for now, I'll catch you later.